Hey guys, welcome back. We are going to talk today about finding the volume of a square pyramid. So remember, with a square pyramid, it's just like the pyramids in Egypt. Base has to be a square, could be a rectangle, same formula. And then of course you have your beautiful pointy shape at the top. So one of the things you've seen in the videos that I know you watched earlier is that a square pyramid bases are the same. So your square pyramid is 1/3 the volume of a cube. So your formula for finding the volume of a square pyramid is volume equals 1/3 times the area of the base, area of the square, times the height of your overall shape. Or in short terms, volume equals length times width, because remember, with your square, length times width, times the height of the overall shape, and then you divide that whole math thing by 3. So let's take a look at one of your math problems. You have this particular one on your homework assignment, and if you look, they took this square pyramid and knocked it over on its side. So it would be like running to Egypt, taking this guy and saying blink, and just simply knocking him over on his side. It does not change the area of your base. In this case, your base is still the square. I know it's not sitting on that part, but I promise that's the base. So if you set up your formula, remember Miss Reynolds likes to see those formulas written down. You can either write it as the area of the base, capital B, times height, divided by 3. Or I like to write it length times width times height, divided by 3. And that helps me remember what numbers am I going to be plugging into my formula. So if you take a look at your shape, and the first thing you want to find is what is my base. So I'm going to color code it for you here. And if you look, we talked about how it fell over and it's laying on its side. So if you look, the square is my base. So that's where I want to start my math problem. So I'm going to plug in first volume equals, and looking at your square, you see that your base is 4 times 3. So start your formula off. Volume equals 4 times 3. And we're going to look and see, I'm going to use pink this time, our height, even though it fell over on its side, how tall is our square pyramid. And when we look at this particular picture, our height is 2 yards. Now the nice thing for finding the height is it always starts in the center of your square, and they give that away by giving you that right angle symbol. So if you turn it and look at it this direction, this looks like a right angle, and that tells you my pyramid is 2 yards tall. So let's plug that into our formula. I'm going to put parentheses around the 4 times 3 because that was just the information on my square, times 2, which we said was the height. And then remember, because a square pyramid is 1/3 the volume of an actual cube, then you divide your entire answer by 3. All right, so math with me. 4 times 3 is, yep. And now we're going to multiply that by 2, so double that, and you should get, I know you're writing it down. So carry my V down. I have 4 times 3, which you told me was 12. Excellent. Times 2 is 24. And I'm going to leave my divided by 3. Okay. Then, yeah, I got to do the mathy stuff. So I take my math and I say, okay, 24 divided by 3. Well, I know 3 times what makes 24? Yep. 3 times 8. So the volume of my square pyramid is 8 yards, because 24 divided by 3 gave me 8 yards. And remember, it is a 3-dimensional shape. It has height, length, and width. So don't forget the important part. My answer has to be cubed. So my overall final answer is the volume of my pyramid equals 8 yards to the third power, or cubed, because it is a three-dimensional shape. All right, let's do one more together and take a look at number 4. Number 4 says the top of a gate post. So here's my post, and I'm just caring about the top. The top of a gate post is in the shape of a square pyramid. Okay. The height of the pyramid is 5 inches. So here I am at 5 inches tall, and each side is 7.4 inches. Determine the volume of wood, or how much wood am I going to need to make the top of the gate post. All right. So first thing we talk about is I always like to see you draw a picture, because this is a basic word problem. No pictures this time. So sketch yourself out a picture. I'm not expecting a perfect artist or a Picasso, but just something to help you remember. So I want you to draw yourself a pyramid. The easiest way to do it is to start with a square and then pick a point and make all the sides of your square reach that point. All right, and then of course you have to label, because you know that's required. So I'm going to label what I know. The math problem told me I am 5 inches tall, so here's my dotted tall, or my height. And because it is a square base, I know in this case I'm 7.4 times 7.4. Write down your formula. Volume equals length times width times height. And then we're going to divide the whole thing by 3. All right. So let's show Miss Reynolds our mathy stuff. And we're going to do 7.4 times 7.4 times 5. And we're going to divide that by 3. So I'm looking at, whoops, let's get on this side. There we go. So I'm looking at my beautiful formula written down. 7.4 times 7.4, so the length of my square times the width of my square times how tall is my overall shape, and then again divide the whole thing by 3. That's something that never changes. You multiply by a third, which we talked about. That simply means take my final answer and divide everything by 3. So I have 7.4 times 7.4. Now I assume you're doing this with me, because you know I'm not going to give you free answers all the time. So help me out. That's a 16, and that's a, I got 29. We're going to hope I'm right. Left the calculator in the other room. So we'll do this the long-term way. So there's my 28, 49, 50, 51. All right, you double check me. Don't tell me if you're using a calculator. So I end up with, 54.76 times 5, and then dividing the whole thing by 3. So this is what I've got so far. So now I'm going to have to multiply that times the height, or times 5. Are you mathing? All right, keep mathing with me. There's my, put my 0 down. 5 times 6 is 30. Thank you. Carry my 3. 5 times 7 is, plus the 3. There we go. Carry my other 3. 5 times 4 is, plus 3. And carry that 2. So I end up with, double check me again. My calculator's here right now. So I end up with 273.80. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to write that down neatly, because that was not good right there. All right, so is this what you have so far? I know you're going to say yes, because you're awesome like that. Yep. Now I'm going to drop that 0, because remember we've talked about zeros at the end after the decimal. I don't need. So I'm going to take 273 and 8 tenths and divide it by 3. So I have, let's see, that's 9. I have a 1. So far I have 3 goes into 273 91 times. Bear with me because, you know, nothing like a little free math, right? Bring down my 8. 3 goes into 8, oh darn, 2 times. So I'm going to have a remainder here. And that brings me a 2 and a 0. So 3 will go into 20, 6 times? All right. So because my math problem said round to the nearest tenth, I get 91.26. Now I've got a round, so I look at the 6 because it's in the hundredths place, and I ask myself, is that 6 going to change my 2 to a 3 or keep it the same? All right, that is for you to decide. So I have 91 decimal, and remember your answer is inches cubed. All right. I look forward to getting your answers for your square pyramids. Remember, this is a short week this week. If you are watching this the week of April 6th, you have, I think, 7 problems to complete and turn in to me. I will be in our Zoom room every day, Monday through Thursday this week from 1 to 3. You can always email me, text me, and let me know you're stuck, you need help, and I will stop what I'm doing. I'm working on next week's lesson plans and jump in and check on you. Bye, guys. Please make sure you go and watch the other 2 videos and complete your homework you have through the end of this week. Have a wonderful week.